Boom! Freedom with the double 3, aka the Urban Cowboy. Over the next few weeks, I'll be raising the awareness of my Equestrian social enterprise, riding out with some of the UK's most loved names. Welcome to Celebrities in the Saddle. Today we are joined by BBC Radio 1 Extra DJ Melody Kane.
Yes, I'm ready.
Good.
I think we're gonna see how this goes.
Let's see how this goes.
It's been a while.
Hey,
it's been a while.
Hey.
Okay.
So wait there.
It's easier if I give you a leg.
I'll,
oh, you can do that.
You gonna go?
Yep.
Okay.
Flying, well done.
On.
Give her the job.
Look at your batty. Look at the rumpus on yours, eh?
Batty big, eh?
Yeah, batty big. Look at the back of.
Yeah, man. You got your little donkey thing.
But look at that's
Little
what you see how you set me up. What I said to you, I said I want a stallion. I said I want a stallion. I can't you give me a Shetland pony.
She wanted the stallion.
You want the stallion.
So what have you been up to, Melody,
I'm
man?
unemployed.
Huh?
I'm unemployed.
What do you mean unemployed?
Corona here. All my gigs are cut. No, sorry. Let me be more positive. So you know what? I have been just utilising this period of change that's taken place this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been no work since March, which is really different for me because I've been a full-time DJ for 15 years. So normally in summer, this is the time when I'd be out and about. I'd be abroad a lot. I'd be flying in and out every week.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but this year, nothing, just chill. So it's all been about sort of reinventing what's important and just utilising the time to connect with myself more. But you know what I realised? All the things that I thought I was too busy to do, it's not that I was too busy, I just didn't want to do them. Because when I had all the time to do them, I realised that actually, you know what? It's not a priority. So it's just been about readdressing what's important. But I think it's been good. Obviously, it's tragic that a lot of people have lost their lives, and that's the really sad part. But also, I think there's something beautiful that's happened in terms of the energy within the world, and just it's all given us a moment to refocus on ourselves and what's important.
Would you say that you've found a lot of time to like see family and well, we've been on bloody lockdown, isn't it?
No.
It's engaged.
Really, no, because my mum's high risk because she's got dementia, so I haven't actually seen her for 7-8 months.
Okay. Yeah.
And so and then the rest of my family's up in Birmingham, so it's just been, not really been able to kind of spend time with anybody. Yeah, same with me. I mean, during lockdown, I found I was riding a lot more, you know, because like, really, I'm more a facilitator. So I facilitate riding for the young people, for adults who've not necessarily ridden. But during lockdown, what happened was that only myself and one other person was allowed to go to the stables to look after the horses. Okay. So I literally had to exercise the horses myself. Beautiful. So, you know, absolutely, but I wasn't really focused on riding. So, you know, when it came to exercise, I had to jump on the horses and physically ride them. I found I had to exercise the horses more or less myself. So I actually improved a lot as a rider. Wonderful. I was riding, you know, all my different horses. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about yourself in that period of time? In terms of riding? Yeah, well, in terms of riding, in terms of you as a person. You know what? I discovered that it was always going to be a very difficult period for us because since March the 17th, we had to stop all of our services. So all our pony clubs with the kids, adult sessions, we had to stop it. And I was really thinking, are we going to be able to survive this period as a social enterprise? You know what I mean? And I found that our resilience was top notch. I grew a lot. And not only that, you know, living out here, well not living, but working out here in the country, because we're 14 miles away from the city out here, we've had to put up with a lot of difficult issues. A lot of the issues in terms of the equestrian world, you know, being institutionally racist, you know, people not really wanting to see particularly black people out in the country, you know what I mean? And how does that energy manifest itself? Well, it manifested itself in that I had to handle a lot of different kind of people, so I had to handle a lot of council issues, a lot of complaints. And again, my resilience was really good, so I've grown through that, you know.
I've gone through that a lot, you know what I mean? And so I found that I'm very resilient.
That's good. You knew that anyway, though. Look at your life. You know you're resilient.
Whoa.
Did you tap into a next level?
That was a next level resilience.
Okay.
That was next level resilience, man. You know what I mean?
End of level unlocked.
Yeah, man. Big time. Because, again, you know, a lot of when you're the CEO or the leader of your whole business, your whole organisation, you can't show weakness. You know what I mean? You have to take on board a lot of mental fatigue. You know, a lot of mental issues, you know what I mean? But if some of my staff would be crying and wondering what's going to happen and this, that and the other, and I can't show that I'm fretting or that things ain't going to go the way we need them to go. I have to show that, listen, we're going to pull through this.
No weakness, you're like the black Cobra Kai.
Yeah, so how have you coped? How have you gotten through lockdown and so on?
So for me, it was definitely a spiritual journey for me through lockdown. I just spent time by myself because I wasn't able to visit any family just because my mum is vulnerable because she has dementia, so I wasn't able to visit her. Okay, and then the rest of my family's up in Birmingham. So it was just a period of reflection for me, really. I just read a lot, which was really great. Started writing a lot more. I used to write quite a lot, so I revisited my writing. And
what are you writing?
So I'm writing a book, I'm writing a book called A Different Melody. It's about my journey.
It's called A Different Melody?
It's called A Different Melody.
I like that, that's nice.
It's about the journey. So just kind of refocused on that because I'd put that to one side. Got into like doing online PT course as well, so just getting my qualification for that. So really just kind of focusing on things that I had wanted to do but hadn't really found the time to do because I would normally be travelling around so much.
So you want to go out to Kenya for 3 months?
Yes.
Work at an orphanage?
Yes, yeah. Help out an orphanage. So there's 2 sisters at the orphanage that I sponsor to go to school and I do what I can to raise money for the orphanage. About half of the children are sponsored to go to school and half of them aren't. So it's about just raising awareness so they can have, just a basic start in life that many of us take for granted. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I just won't have to come back. England, it's
dead, man.
Bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
It's bad vibes.
Just like we just see, innit?
Yeah, it's bad vibes.
Bad vibes, man.
It's cold. The thing is with travel, I don't actually really see it as an escape in terms of, I just think that I just popped into this world in the wrong location. I don't really see myself, because my mum came over from Jamaica when she was 13, so, in my mind, I'm probably just meant to have been born in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's just, I think that, here you will reach a glass ceiling, you hit a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be successful to a certain point.
Yeah.
And I just want to go somewhere where I feel comfortable and I'm in the majority and appreciated and not feeling like I have to dumb myself down to make other people feel comfortable. So that's what it's about. And also as well, just in terms of culturally, just experiencing all the different cultures that Africa has to offer as a continent. And just, for me, travel is freedom. I don't really have any reason to be here. I don't have any particular ties here. So why not just go and explore? Like, it's a big world.
You know what? I was quite tuned into your tweets and so on since Brexit. And everything you're saying now is what you were saying for your tweets and stuff. I totally get it, you know what I mean?
I had to come off Twitter a little bit. I'm a little bit too vocal. Yeah. I regularly have social media detoxes, to be honest. Like, I'll go, especially in lockdown, I had like a few months where I came off there. I grew up not only with no social media, but with no internet. When I grew up, there was no internet. What I used to do is ride horses and play with my friends. And
play knock door.
And it was I wasn't a bad man like you. See, you're looking at bad man. I didn't play
bad man you though, man.
I was from a nice little village where we were
not bad man you.
In England, you do feel the need to have to fill time and space with social media because you're made to believe that there is nothing else sustainable that's kind of happening. Whereas there's just so much more. There's so much more out there. So whenever I meet someone that doesn't have social media, I'm just like, wow, that's amazing. If it wasn't for work, if it wasn't for me doing what I do, I definitely wouldn't have it.
Well, you know what? That's why I really love when we come out to places like this, to the country, or
you know, even when we're in the city, in terms of us being on the outskirts of the city now with the horses, just being around the horses takes me away from social media, takes me away from the present reality of being stuck in the city. You know what I mean? It's so therapeutic in that way, because I think a lot of us, you forget how much time you waste on these devices and how much can actually be done if you don't engage with these devices. And you know what I mean? It's really important to have that clearance.
We don't realise that I downloaded an app a while ago called Screen Time, and I was so surprised because I don't consider myself as somebody that's on my phone a lot.
Okay.
But even when I downloaded the app Screen Time and saw just how many hours a day I was actually, because everything's on our phone now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, our emails, we're replying, like everything is around our phones. Same banjo. But yeah, I was surprised at how much time I was spending. So I think it's really good to just self-regulate and monitor how much time you're spending and just have a really good balance in terms of, you know, spending time on your phone, but also just spending time in nature.
100%.
Banjo's not feeling his bit. What's wrong, Banjo?
I've got a good friend, and she experiences a lot of sexism in terms of her being a female DJ. Not only that, she found it very difficult to get bookings and stuff over male DJs. Have you found anything like that?
You know what? I've been a full-time DJ for 15 years. So obviously at the beginning, there was certain isms and schisms, because especially back then it was a lot rarer. If there were female DJs, they were house DJs, and to be a female DJ in hip hop was super rare then. But it's not rare now. To be honest, like the conversation about being a female and finding it hard in the industry, I rarely have that conversation. Yeah, I really have that conversation because it's just, it just, you know, it's not how it was 15 years ago. You know, then it was very different, but now it is based on skill and talent to a certain extent. But there's not the sexism now that there used to be. I don't experience it, but that may be because I'm at a different place in terms of my journey. You know, perhaps if you're starting out, then it can be different. But because for me, when I was starting out, it was, you know, like DJs used to try and sabotage my set, and like, so if they were warming up for me, they'd like pull out the phono wires, but I made sure when I was learning to DJ.
Why though? Why?
Jealous because I was better. So, and because they didn't like warming up for me, because it was a lot rarer then. And
mostly male guys.
In hip hop, it was all males, and in hip hop there's ego. You know, there was a lot of ego from the DJs. So, but I made sure when I was learning to DJ that I knew how to, you know, knew how to deal with the equipment inside out. So I made sure that I could set up equipment, and I knew exactly how to troubleshoot. So whenever they were doing certain things that they thought would, you know, deter me, or I would just pop in the wire and just
deal with
go on and smash the set. Make them stand there and watch.
Wicked. Nice.
But yeah, look at these beauties.
When we used to be up here. Yeah. Hiya, how you doing? Two youngsters.
Gorgeous. Hey.
Nice. No fighting, you know.
No fighting. Be nice. Be nice.
Hey. All right.
Back it up. Don't let them tell you you're ugly.
Back it up.
You're not ugly, it is hard to look upon.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Okay.
And I know you're very connected to horses because you spend a lot of time in the New Forest, is it?
Yeah, I used to. I haven't for a while, I used to spend a few months in New Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love New Forest. Beautiful.
Yeah. We got a half New Forest, half Dartmoor pony.
Okay.
Yeah, down at the ranch.
See, people think black people don't like camping. I love camping.
Yeah, I know, for real. Yeah, camping. It's true. Yeah. Like, I disappeared from the horse world for about the same period of time, about 20 years, about 15 years. I fell out of love with the world just because of certain experiences. You know what I mean? And yeah. You know, when I got back involved with the horses, in many ways I felt like I wasted a lot of time. I should have just stuck it out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of letting external influences stop me from continuing.
But you found your way back.
Yes, I found my way back. And set this up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So you come back with a force. At least you're not wishing you were doing it whilst not doing it.
Nah.
No point having regrets because you're doing it now.
100%. It connecting me with great people like yourself. You know what I mean? And I think also one of the strengths that I have, or we have, as cultural ethnic people, so to speak. Sometimes I hate using them kind of terms. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm talking about. Is the fact that
melanated.
Melanated. Hey, this girl, man. Just spend more time with you, man.
Melanated.
But for real, melanated. Love that, you know, man. Yeah, man.
This is why it's good. You see these blackberries, organic blackberries. Blackberry is the only fruit that actually increases melatonin. So when you eat organic blackberries, it's very good for your melanin.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
You have blackberries everywhere.
You really on that talk, man, innit?
Yeah,
You have to spend some time off these horses, man.
How's the support been in terms of in your community?
The support in my community has been massive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know how I see it now? The way I see it now is that my community isn't necessarily just the black community. My community is everyone who agrees with this kind of vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I've got the people that make up my membership in terms of Urban Equestrian, my staff team, the youths, adults, is like you're talking Arabian people, Arabs, Asian, black, mixed race, you know, white, working class white youths. I mean, people sometimes think that I'm doing this to make more black people into the horse world. It's not really about that. It's about, and that's the reason why I called it urban, because there's many working class white families that don't have the opportunity to get involved with horses, you know what I mean, due to a lack of access or financial constraints and stuff, you know what I mean, and we have a lot of them people involved. My community I've got different communities, like my equestrian community is just a mixture of people that love the vision, and the vision is to make the equestrian world, industry over here in particular, can only start from home, right? More inclusive, you get me? Meaning we want to take it from the 1% that it's been at for years, over 20 years, if not longer, to just being, this needs to be the new norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It needs to be the new norm. Can't be like people taking double takes to see a black girl pan a horse or a black man pan a horse. You know what I mean? It should be normal, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah. And it's funny because, you know, our own people, sometimes they're like, what are you doing on the horse and that,
Well, I think that's it's fear, but that stems from ignorance because they don't know how gentle horses are. They're fearful.
Yeah.
They're fearful of what they don't understand. So.
But also a loss of connection with themselves, because if you go back to Jamaica, Antigua, or Asia, or whatever, our people are agricultural people, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's not like we don't ride horses, come on, and whatnot, because we do. Hey, go on like some bad man, come on. Listen, there's only one bad man on here. Yeah? Yeah, so you know what I mean? People lose themselves, they come to the West, and they forget that, listen, when we go back a yard and whatnot, we're riding horses all day.
Yeah,
so why are you going on like you're scared of a horse when you see one in the city?
Yeah,
or,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Ain't nothing abnormal to me, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You know. And the connection that we have with these animals, like you're saying, you know, they're therapeutic because they say a dog is man's best friend. You know, I disagree. I think a horse is man's best friend or a woman's best friend. Yeah? Because you can develop such a bond with these creatures that it's just incredible. You know, the kind of connection that you can actually have, the spiritual connection. Thanks for coming on Celebrities in the Saddle.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun. Thank you for
yourself,
yes, reigniting my love with these beautiful animals. I had an amazing time. I'm going to be coming to see you in the city for some more lessons and just to spend more time. So thank you.
You're certainly welcome and much appreciated.
Keep doing you. Yes.